This three-part tutorial series focuses on General Services Acquisition Regulation Class Deviation, also known as GSAR. In this first tutorial, we will cover what the GSAR is, why the deviation was necessary, and the additional guidance provided by a September 2015 supplemental memo. The second and third tutorials will cover each of the key clauses addressed in the deviation, the conflicts typically caused by each clause of the Commercial Supplier Agreements or CSAs, and the deviation remedy. The GSAR contains acquisition policies, practices, clauses, provisions, and forms used by GSA to control the relationship between GSA and contractors and prospective contractors. GSA oversees the procurement of $66 billion in supplies and services every year, much of which are commercial items. Many of the commercial items acquired by GSA or made available to the rest of the federal government on ordering vehicles include Commercial Supplier Agreements or CSAs. Frequently, these CSAs include clauses that are improper or illegal for the government to accept. These conflicting clauses result in contracting personnel wasting time having to negotiate these terms every time a supplier presents a CSA. To save time, GSA identified the 15 most common clauses that conflict with federal law or government requirements and issued a class deviation to address these common clauses as well as the order of precedence. This class deviation is summarized in Acquisition Letter MV 1503, dated July 31, 2015. A supplement was also issued on September 30, 2015, to provide answers to questions on negotiating commercial software license terms and conditions. Presently, this class deviation applies only to GSA contracts and orders made against GSA contracts. The deviation instructs contracting officers to take specific administrative actions depending on how their contracts were awarded. If their contracts were executed under FAR Part 12 procedures, GSA contracting officers must incorporate the following clauses into the contracts. GSAR 552.212-4 Contract Terms and Conditions, Commercial Items, and GSAR 552.232-39 Unenforceability of Unauthorized Obligations. If, on the other hand, their contracts were not executed under FAR Part 12 procedures, GSA contracting officers must incorporate the following clause instead. GSAR 552.232-78 Commercial Supplier Agreements. In September 2015, GSA leadership released a supplemental memo that provided additional clarification. The guidance contained in this memo addresses common topics such as how contracting officers should pay close attention to terms such as warranty, price per user, transferability of agreements, and maintenance fees, how to incorporate a CSA into a contract, and how negotiated proposals will take precedence over the CSA terms and the conditions outlined in the solicitation. This deviation expires when these changes are incorporated into the GSA Acquisition Manual, or GSAM, and FAR. This means that GSA must first coordinate with the chairman of the CAAC, or the Civilian Agency Acquisition Council, and the Federal Acquisition Regulation, or FAR Council, then provide for public review and comment, and finally revise GSAM and FAR. This process can often take years, so this deviation could remain in effect for a considerable time. As always, buyers are encouraged to review and negotiate other terms to ensure the ordering activities' business needs are met. Please refer to Parts 2 and 3 of this tutorial series on GSAR for more information.